probably knew that we were going to get a first star. Second star wasn't something that we really thought that we would achieve. And to be surprised like that, it's a big deal. My name's Allister Barsby. Welcome to Hyde & Fox in Saltwood, Kent. This is Ruby. She's a Ridgeback and she is a restaurant guard dog, and you might hear her barking out the window at some stage, so just be warned. The Hyde & Fox is a simple restaurant. We always wanted to do things simply. We knew we wanted to be part of the community. We always wanted to be sort of semi-fine dining, not too stiff, no tablecloths or anything like that. We never really said, oh, we're going to open up and get a Michelin star. And luckily for us, it sort of happened quite naturally and organically, which is really nice. I grew up in Whitstable, loads of fresh seafood, Whitstable oysters, obviously. So I took a part-time kitchen porter job at Wheeler's Oyster Bar, which got me into cooking really, washing pots. During my A-levels, we were asked to do 3-day work experience, so I chose Reed's Restaurant in Faversham. And after my 3 days work experience, they offered me a full-time job. They did say, to be fair, once you've finished your A-levels, once you've done your education, there's always a job for you. So as soon as I heard that, I had the bit between my teeth, quit my A-levels, and decided to go and work full-time. When I was working at Reed's, Michael Caines opened the restaurant in Abode in Canterbury. We went for lunch, really enjoyed the meal, and decided to go down to Devon and do 3 days work experience at Gidley Park. So Michael isn't just a chef. Even 17 years ago, when I first started working for him, he was already a businessman, he was a manager. As a mentor, he's got a great palate, working for someone like Raymond Blanc, all these amazing chefs, they've all got amazing palates, so he's very good at teaching that as well and passing that knowledge on. And then Michael Caines took over the restaurant at the Bath Priory, and he asked me to go up there as sous chef, senior sous. We achieved a Michelin star. Michael Caines asked me back to Gidley as head chef, so I spent 3 years as head chef at Gidley. 6 months every day, day in, day out with MC in the kitchen can be quite tough. And he was there every day because he knew I needed it. But it was a great learning curve. And then he wanted to open Livingston Manor, and he asked me to go with him. I decided not to, and moved over to the Grove at Narberth. So I spent nearly 4 years there. We got 3 rosettes, not quite a star, but I think we would have got one. And then we just decided to move back to Kent and open a restaurant because we felt that we could do it. So that's what we did. I'm going to cook 2 dishes today, well, plate one and cook one. I'm going to cook a raw scallop dish, Orkney scallops with pickled white beetroot, apple reduction, and a smoked Bonito butter foam. This is a lovely extra large Orkney scallop, so we don't use a whole lot for the first course. I'll do 2 nice thick slices out of this. So effectively this is 2 portions. Then we're going to season with a little bit of sea salt, not too much. So I'm just going to do some lovely lime segments, and then we cut them into 4, and then we'll just put a few on the scallop dish. So the first thing to go on is just a scallop in the middle, okay? On top of that, we've got some fresh apple, pickled white beetroot, and some lemon segments. After that, we've had a nice quinella caviar, the apple reduction, which we turn into a caramel, dill oil, micro sorrel herbs, apple marigold, and fresh dill. So we sauce this raw scallop dish with a fish white wine sauce, but the sauce has been infused with smoked bonito flakes, so it's subtle, but I think the smokiness and the raw scallop, the warmness and the cold, it's a real nice marriage, and I think it works really well. So here we have it's actually the first course on both our tasting menus. It's the raw Orkney scallop with Granny Smith apple, pickled white beetroot, Ossetra caviar, and a fish white wine and a smoked bonito sauce. It's a restaurant that's cozy, and we just serve good food, well-balanced tasting menus. It just feels natural, and I think that's what has made the restaurant successful. We've got a great relationship with our local wineries. Simpson's 10 minutes away, Gusbourne 45 minutes down the road outside Ashford. We've got some of the best winemakers in Europe. So we champion them for sure. The wine list is small, but it's concise and different. The girls are always looking for new things to put on, what's local, what's new. Also, it has to be good. We're not just going to put a local wine on just for the sake of it. For us, it's sourcing and looking for new producers, new suppliers. Kent's got a lot. You just got to find them. Because a lot of the produce in Kent will get sent off either abroad or other side of the country. And although we produce a lot of great produce, it's not the easiest stuff to get hold of. You know, I've got some good friends in my village where I live, and they supply us with lambs at the moment. He shoots his own venison, and you know, all these great local ingredients is really what inspires you. If you want to be lasting, I think you need to play to your environment and where you are. You know, we're not in a city, we're not relying on footfall. This was always a neighbourhood restaurant, so it had, I think it had been in Italian, it had been a fine dining restaurant in the Michelin guide, it had been an Indian, I think. Before we had it, it was a cafe. We came across this place online and we was like, well, let's just go and have a look. And we saw it, looked at it, and just felt right. The dish I'm going to cook for you now is our lovely East Kent lamb. Served with fermented lettuce, wild garlic, parmesan and smoked anchovy. So obviously this is the loin. We keep the fat on because the fat is flavour, and we just score it. So first up, we've got some lovely baby gem lettuce. This has been compressed in ice water just to crisp it up, and it goes really crispy and fresh. This is a fermented lettuce, so it's lettuce we vacuum packed with a weight of 1.5% salt. What we've got here is some slow cooked shoulder. So we've got the loin and the shoulder. The loin's going to be cooked nice and pink, medium rare. The shoulder has been slow cooked, it's been cured and it's slow cooked overnight. And we press it, cut a portion, and that's going to be crisped up in a pan. We're going to glaze that with some Worcestershire sauce, which we've reduced down to a glaze. Oil, nice hot pan. And we're going to go skin side down. We're going to get the skin nice and crispy, add some butter, colour it all around, and then we're going to go through the oven. It'll take about 4 or 5 minutes to cook. The first thing we're going to do to plate the dish is we're going to grate some parmesan over the fermented lettuce. So just a little bit. The lovely fine microplane, which does the grating for us. I'm going to plate the lettuce onto the dish now. So obviously we don't want to get parmesan everywhere, so make sure it's kind of clean before it goes on. So this is a lovely wild garlic emulsion. One there, one there. Next is pretty much going to be the meat. We only need one piece of this, so what we'll do is we just glaze it up nicely. It's had the Lee and Perrings on it. Just glaze it with a bit of sauce. We just top that with some lovely crispy shallots. So you can see the sort of Caesar salad elements kind of coming together. So this is the lovely East Kent lamb, cooked medium rare. It's going to go on the plate, just there. A little black garlic puree, fermented garlic, a little bit of wild garlic oil, lovely little parmesan dice, last second so it doesn't sort of melt into the sauce. So a lovely lamb jus. So here's our lovely East Kent lamb. It's served with fermented lettuce, smoked anchovy, parmesan and wild garlic. So this is my team, the three of us. Josh Hughes, my head chef, and Ollie Clifford Cox, junior sous. Wow, that lamb's tender.
That lamb is delicious.
Spot on, what do you think?
Turned out.
Lovely.
Yeah, lovely. Perfect. Yeah.
Fermented lettuce. Not too acidic. It works well. Wild garlic.
Wild garlic's amazing.
We like to move forward and we don't like to put the same dishes on twice. So if we're going to put a dish on, we get bored of a certain dish. Okay, well, this has been on for a couple of months. You know, what we're going to do next, what's in season, and try and think about how you can do things a little bit differently as well. Not just think outside the box a little bit. Yeah. Well, getting a second star is the pinnacle of the team's career, not just mine. And it's a strange thing, really, because it's something that, although we knew what we were capable of, we knew that we probably knew that we were going to get a first star. Second star wasn't something that we really thought that we would achieve. And to be surprised like that, it's a big deal. It was an organic sort of evolution for us. It just felt right, you know. We knew when a couple of the inspectors were coming in, they were leaving like, the plates were almost licked clean, and they gave us dish of the month. And although we didn't think, oh, we're going to get 2 stars this year, there's always at the back of your mind thinking, well, the inspectors are really liking what they're eating. They're not sending anything back. We're not a team where we come in and say, let's push for 2 stars. Because I think the more you want it, I think Michelin can feel that, and they can feel you trying too hard. I think when it feels natural and it feels right, they can recognise that. What would I say to myself 17 years ago now? 18 years ago? Probably, if you know that you want to be a chef and it's going to be your career path, I think the best thing to do is get stuck into a kitchen and find yourself a mentor and immerse yourself in the kitchen. Don't be a kitchen hopper. Do 6 months here, 6 months there. I think the best way to learn is from a mentor, a really good one. So that's what I would say.